Hi. uh, so I screwed up a little bit. This episode that you're watching, it's gonna sound really, really bad. It's gonna sound like it was shot from an iPhone because it was. The audio that went with the video, the audio that we recorded on the computer, um, I may or may not have accidentally deleted. Um, the way it happened was uh, I had to quickly upload episode 2 or episode 14 rather. Um, and it's a really, really big file. It's over 2.5 hours of straight video and audio. And it was like something like 25 gigabytes or something. But in order to upload it to YouTube, it for some reason used a lot more than 25 gigabytes. It used like 80 just to upload it. Um, and so I had to make room on the computer for that to happen. And I was very foolish in making room for it because I accidentally deleted episode 15, the episode that you're watching right now. I didn't realize it. I thought, oh, it's just, I just need to make room. I didn't give it a second thought, and I should have. And I can't recover it. Usually you can go to data recovery services and recover it that way, but you can't. The way it happened is impossible. It's the data is gone. It's been overwritten. So the audio that you're listening to right now, um, this audio sounds good, but the episode itself is going to sound really, really bad, and I apologize for that. That's not something that Cassidy did. That's not something that Ryan did. Ryan Antonetti. That's me. It's just me. I made a really stupid error, and it cost a lot of. It just cost us, and it's gonna. It, it just sucks. I I can't like I can't. This isn't something I can fix with time. I can't fix it with effort. I can't put in 3 hours of effort and recover the audio. It's not how this works. No matter how much time I put into this or effort, as much as I want to give, I can't because it's gone. It's just gone. It sucks. I really love doing this. And Cassidy, I think, also likes doing it. But what really stinks right now is this episode is gone. The audio's gone. You're still going to be able to listen to it. It's going to sound like there's like a jet engine in the background. Um, it my logic is it's better than nothing, but I don't know. If you were looking forward to this episode, I'm sorry it's going to be a lackluster one. For the future, um, I have made a lot of room on my computer, so hopefully we won't have any of those issues in the future. Um, I'm putting my foot down. There's going to be no mistakes, no missteps, no errors, um, because we can't afford it. So I apologize for this little rant. Um, yeah, I just want to let you know that the episode you're about to listen to is going to sound really bad. um, it also got cut off like a minute and a half short. I'll recap it at the end. You don't miss much. We just recap our points and then end it. Um, but yeah, this is like a low point for us. Um, and I made a mistake, and usually mistakes are fine. And usually it ends up okay, but this isn't a typical mistake. So yeah, next week's is going to be hopefully fine. I'm not going to promise anything because I promised that last week, and look what happened. Um, I don't know. I this is this stinks. this I'm very upset with myself. Um, I just wish I had thought for a second, and I didn't, and I'm stupid, completely and utterly. And yeah, so without further ado, here's this week's episode, season 2, episode 3. It's about feminism. Here it is.
Welcome back. This isn't going to be episode 2. This is the second episode we've recorded for the season. But it's going to be episode 3 because we're trying to set a pattern where we do every other freecast. So, actually, the last episode you heard was with Ryan Parmenter. We have no idea what we talked about because it's technically in the future from when we're recording this. But it's in the past from when you're listening to this. So last week, we released an episode with Ryan Parmenter. We just have no idea what it's on because we're not from the future, we're from the past. Yeah, that's how. So, Cass, what are we talking about?
Well, today's International Women's Day.
Yes.
Which is pretty important.
So, Cass thought we might talk about feminism.
Yeah, I think that's an appropriate topic to
Yeah. Water?
Oh, I'm good, thanks.
Right. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to talk that store?
It's not a thing.
It could be.
It's not.
It's not. It'd be cool if it was.
But it's not.
So you want to talk about feminism?
Yes, you do.
Or just go to town on it?
Mm-hmm.
Lit.
So I'm a feminist.
Okay.
Are you a feminist, Ryan?
That was a very accusational, like, are you a feminist? How about you?
How about you?
How about
Ryan?
you? Ryan?
I'm just
So-
curious, are you?
I don't identify as a feminist. But I do think women and men should have equal rights.
That's literally what a feminist is.
Yeah, but I don't want to identify as a feminist.
But that's what a feminist is.
Sure, okay, so technically,
So you're a
by
feminist.
rule, I'm a feminist. By
Yes,
definition,
okay.
I'm a feminist.
Period,
But I
end
don't
of
want to
sentence.
identify as a feminist because feminism has become this overblown. No. Hold on. In practice, they're like, some women just take it to the whole extreme, and some women believe, some feminists believe that women should be superior to men.
Okay, I don't know about that.
There's a lot, like, you can go online right now and just
But
look up compilations of
I
feminists
have
going
not
off on
finished
men.
my sentence.
Okay.
But that's a very small percentage of all feminists. And feminists
I remember
believe that men and women should have equal rights, and that is it.
when I was
So
looking.
I don't understand why you're not a feminist.
Well, so this is actually interesting because when I was looking into feminism, this was like back in senior year when we were actually discussing about feminism in social sciences class,
Okay.
psych or whatever. It came up and we were looking at the stats of it. There were actually multiple polls where a random sampling of people majorly believed, like 95%, even more than that, greater than 95% of those people that were sampled believed that women and men should have equal rights, which I
Yeah.
think, obviously.
Duh.
But if you looked at, but when they were asked, do you identify as a feminist, less than 10% actually said yes.
That's because there are
Because-
common misconceptions.
Well, yeah, but sometimes the common misconceptions are real.
But in this case, they're not,
I think-
because feminists
I think-
believe that men and women should have equal rights, and that is
Yeah, but
the
it's
end.
sometimes it comes across more than that.
Well, I don't care about sometimes. I
But
care about the actual
going back to the stat,
belief.
It is
that
a
men and
common
women should have
it
equal
is a
rights.
common misconception, but at the same time, it's overblown to make it seem like people don't identify as feminist majorly because they think a majority of feminists have the same kind of approach on feminism.
And what
you
would
should-
that be?
Like telling people that women should have equal rights.
What's wrong with
Or, in some scenarios, which you can find in videos online, they believe that women should be superior to men. That they should have their time in power, much like how men have. Well, what? You can't possibly say you believe that. You
I
can't
don't-
possibly say there should be a
I
period
just
of time.
believe that men and women should have equal rights. I don't think one
Yes.
gender should have power over the other.
But
I think that's wrong.
so extrapolating on that a little bit, do you think men and women have equal rights?
No, not right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. How?
Did you expect me to say yes?
Well, I can't really think of an
There
example
wouldn't
how
be
they
a
don't.
feminist movement if there wasn't
Well, no.
opportunities for change.
well, well, can you give me an example where men and women don't have equal rights?
Yeah, sure. Wage.
Oh gosh. All right, we'll get back to the wage gap, but besides the wage gap, which I don't personally think exists, there might be a small difference, but we can delve into that a little bit more. But hold on? You can pull up any stat you want. But apart from the wage gap, is there anything else that you believe isn't equal between men and women?
Socially, we are not seen as equals.
How so?
Jobs.
What do you mean jobs?
Well, like in the workplace, we are not seen as equal to men. We are not treated as such.
How?
You can go through millions of examples of what, if in everyday lives, women have to experience. Like the treatment from. Let me finish. The treatment from like their superiors. You know, there are like a man's job versus a woman's job. You know, there are like beliefs.
Well, there are certainly jobs out there that men dominate in terms of numbers, but there are also jobs out there that women outnumber men. That's just a fact.
But the
teaching, for
former,
example, is a great example.
The former is often true. Most true.
No.
Yeah.
Nursing, teaching, those are two perfect examples of where women outnumber men.
Mm-hmm.
And in more hands-on jobs such as construction, I don't know. I'm not sure about scientists. I haven't really looked into science.
How would I?
But so I think this is a good time to delve into the wage gap. I think the whole wage gap thing started because there was a couple studies that were released into the public that said the ratio was for every dollar a man makes, the woman makes 76 cents of that. So a man makes $1 an hour, the woman makes
female workers on average earn around 80 cents for every dollar a man makes.
Okay, so
the gap
cents.
is even wider for women of color.
So what?
So you don't think that's wrong? If we're performing the same job, you don't believe that a woman should
No,
be paid as much?
No, that's wrong.
Okay, then we
No.
have nothing to argue
Listen,
about.
you just conflated two completely different stats there. You
Oh,
said
please tell me how I did that.
okay, I will. But I think I should get through this and then you can rebut on that. You said that men and women, on average, have different wages. You
There
said
is a wage
you
gap.
said that on average, men make on average when a man makes $1, the woman makes 80 cents.
In 2017, female full-time year-round workers made only 80.5 cents for every dollar earned by men.
Okay, so full-time
A
workers.
gender wage gap of 20%.
I just want to make sure I'm hearing this correctly.
Women
So,
on average earn less than men in nearly every single occupation for where it's sufficient earnings data for both men and women to calculate an earnings ratio.
okay, so I'm actually gonna look this up myself. But
This is from the Institute for Women's Policy Research.
can we find an unbiased
IWPR.org.
source? Can we find an unbiased
This
source?
is not an this is
Yeah,
an
it
unbiased
says-
source.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It is not. So the wage gap. So the study that you just pulled up, it was $1 for every 80 cents. That's just saying men versus women in general. That's not the study isn't saying you have the same exact job and a man is working alongside a woman and the man is making
That's
more
exactly
than
what
the
the
woman.
wage gap is, Ryan.
That's not.
We
but-
are working the
but the
same
stat-
jobs, and I'm being paid 80 cents to your $1.
No, but that's not. But that's not.
That's
what that
exactly
stat
what this says.
Read it again. Read it again, please.
I will. Women on average earn less than men in nearly every single occupation for which there's sufficient earnings data
No.
for
Go
men
back.
and
Go
women
back.
to calculate an earnings ratio.
Go back to the $1 to 80 cents.
Yeah, year-round
Comparison.
workers made only 80.5 cents for every dollar earned by men.
That
A gender
that's,
wage gap of 20%.
that says nothing about the jobs that they perform. That's just saying.
That's what the wage
Hold
gap
on, let me
is.
finish. Read the stat
You're
one
just
more
wrong.
time. Read the stat one more time, please.
I'm not gonna read it again, Ryan. You know exactly.
No, I just
what
want to
it
make sure I'm hearing it correctly before I say
Women
something.
on average earn less than men in nearly every single occupation
No, the first
for
one.
which there is sufficient earnings
The
data
first
for
one.
both men and women to
first one.
calculate an earnings ratio.
The first
In
one.
2017, female full-time year-round workers made only 80.5 cents for every dollar earned by men, a gender wage gap of 20%.
Okay, so that ratio right there, that is saying if you took all the women in the world, compare it to all the men in the world, they're
That's
making.
not what it's
hold
saying.
on, they're making less than the men are. That has nothing. That's not saying they're working alongside each other.
That's
in
exactly
the same
what it's
exact
saying.
job in the
That's
same exact
exactly
working
what it
conditions.
means, Ryan.
and the woman
Are you
is
even
making-
listening?
All right. I just can't get out a single sentence. Could I please just say one
You're
thing?
talking the whole entire time. I don't know what you're talking about.
You cut me off. We should try to make this as not a political discussion as it is right now.
It's not political.
So
How is it political, Ryan?
this is a very hot button topic.
How?
The wage gap. It's so prevalent.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm on payscale.com. I have no idea if this website is biased, if these stats are true, but here's what it says. The gender pay gap persists. Women earn 77.9 cents for every dollar earned by men. That's not bringing into fact that women tend to go for lower paying jobs. That's not even taking into. That's just saying they're
Are
taking
you saying
an
that
average.
men have the higher paying jobs, Ryan?
According to the stat, yes.
That's not what the stat means. It means
Women
that women
earn-
are paid less than men.
Women earn 77.9 cents for every dollar earned by men. Sorry. That doesn't bring into the fact that they have different jobs. That's not saying that the men are working right alongside the women and they're
But
making
in
different
jobs
wages.
where men and women are working
hold on.
alongside each other, there have been proven stats to see that the women
Can
are
you bring
being
those up?
paid less than. Sure, I'll find it.
Okay, so when you read farther into this, it says, in other words, the median salary for women is roughly 22% lower than the median salary for men in 2018. That's just salary. That has nothing to do with the jobs that they're working on. That has nothing to do with the working conditions that they're working in. It also says this is a slight improvement from 2016 when the median salary for women was roughly 24% lower than the median salary for men. So in other words, for every 76 cents that the woman makes, they earn 76 cents for every dollar that the man makes. They say, so it does talk about the pay gap once all compensable factors such as experience, industry, and job level are accounted for. So when you get rid of what I'm talking about, which is the same jobs, so they're comparing a man and a woman working the same job. They say the woman earns 98 cents for every dollar earned by men. So that is
Still a gap.
Yes, that's still a gap, but it's not the 78 cents to dollar.
Okay, I have some stats over here.
Okay.
10 occupations where women collectively lose the most money. Top financial managers, men's earnings are $100,575. Women's earnings are $65,237. Pay ratio 65%.
Is that working the same job?
Yep, financial managers. Physicians and
But that's
surgeons,
not-
second top.
Okay.
Women earn $171,000. Men earn $243,000. Accountants, men earn $77,000. Women earn $60,000. I mean, I could go on. Lawyers,
Sure.
medical and health service managers, education administrators, registered nurses. So this is a very significant gap, and it's a very
Yes.
significant problem.
However,
How can there be
And-
however?
no, hold on. This is a really, really big topic that we could spend days
How?
on.
What's there to
Because there's a
dispute?
lot more than just the same job. There's the area, which is actually huge. In Massachusetts, a hospital is different from a hospital in Detroit. Big difference. Even though a woman is working in Detroit as a nurse, she could be making much less than a woman working in Massachusetts in a hospital.
I'm just talking about between men and women overall. There's been
Yes, but you have to
Can you
account
let
for
me finish, please? Between overall, there's a significant pay gap between men and women, and that there needs to be fair pay for everyone. That's the problem here, and that's the problem that we need to fix. I don't care about different areas where they work. Overall, there's a difference in what men and women earn.
All right, I don't want to cut you off because we should try to keep this as. We got into the abortion argument, episode 1. Let's just say someone went off a little bit.
What?
You're gonna argue that?
I don't remember,
screaming.
but
You were screaming out
I
multiple
was
points.
not.
I was actually
screaming.
looking back through the footage, and you capped out multiple times on the mic. Like the mic sensitivity was capped. Like it wouldn't go higher than red. You were capping out.
looks pretty impressive.
But you were screaming, and
because I was mad.
No, I get it. It's a discussion that we can't really settle here. But in terms of the pay gap, yes, women on average make less than men. But that's making it sound like they're making less when they're working on the same job.
Did you not hear me? Literally.
But the 78 cents to dollar stat, that's wrong. In general, average, take all the women, compare them to all the men. Yes, that stat is true. That's not taking into account that women, on average, work a lot more in lower paying jobs than men do. Women overpopulate men in nursing, like I said, in teaching, like I said. Men, construction, perfect example, high paying job. I think it's construction workers make a little too much. I kind of want, what?
I just have no words. But
What?
continue, please.
I want to pull up the pay gap in terms of like doctors or nurses.
Nurses, men earn 71,000, women earn 65,000. I have it right in front of me, right? I just read it to you.
We should find one by state.
This is overall.
But that's the problem.
How is that a problem?
Because state by state is different. You make
There is still a
nurse-
gap. I don't care about the difference
a
in state to
nurse-
state. There is still
but
a
a
gap, and you
nurse-
cannot dispute that.
but a nurse in Massachusetts is going to make
I
more
don't
than a
care
nurse in
about that,
Detroit.
Ryan.
Or Michigan. Ooh, there's an interactive map. Man, I wish we were screen recording so we can pull this up. Oh, what? Click on it. Yo, this is sick. Hold on, I'm gonna shut out the website. It's aauw.org. Oh, I just looked at what that stood for.
What does it stand for?
Well, I just looked at I don't know what it stands for, but I looked at the subtitle. It's empowering women since 1881.
Cool.
Okay, so they have different Massachusetts districts. They separate every single state by district, and then they compare the wage gap in there.
Cool.
So the wage gap in District 1 is 52,188 for men and 46,149 for women. That's annual salary, I believe.
For what jobs are instead?
That's just in general. That's just comparing the two districts, or the two genders. And it goes on for different districts. Are you on the same website?
Yeah, but I don't know where you are.
All right, it's we can talk about it later, or we can pull it up later. It's under tools and references. So yeah, there is, oh gosh, the number one ranking state in terms of wage gap between the genders is California.
Really? Like they have the biggest wage gap?
No, they have I think they have the lowest. I think the worst is Utah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So equal pay in Utah. Let's see. Oh gosh. But that's what I'm saying,
Utah's so
because it seems like a lot of the eastern seaboard states like Massachusetts, New York, Vermont, Florida, North Carolina, they have a lot of they have a lower wage gap. When you look in the Midwest, even North America, or not Northern America, like Montana, Idaho, South Dakota, states like that, the wage gap is bigger. Because those are more hands-on jobs that men are, statistically speaking, more likely to participate in. And those are, is it Idaho where potatoes are grown?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's potatoes grown in all these states, but Idaho is like
What
notorious
does
for.
potatoes have to do with anything?
Well, no, I was just curious. I had nothing to do with it. But yeah, that's what's happening in Utah. So Utah's the lowest. Oh gosh, 56,000 to 38,000 in Utah, which is bananas.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, there's just a ton of graphs here. I'm gonna look at this later. Actually, I'm gonna bookmark it. But anyways, we can talk about the wage gap more later if you want. Is there anything else
Nope.
in terms of feminism that you want to discuss?
I don't know. Is there anything you want to discuss? I
Yeah.
thought it was pretty clear, self-explanatory.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Let us know what you think out there. Leave us a comment on the YouTubes. Don't do that. Well, do that, but don't say YouTubes. That's weird. Leave us a comment. Let you know what you think. Do you agree? Disagree? Hit us with some arguments. We're dying to know. Anything else in terms of feminism you want to discuss?
I don't know. I'm still mad that you won't identify as a feminist, even though you believe that we should have equal rights.
Well, see, here's the thing. I think we do have equal rights.
Well, I disagree with that.
Name a right that's granted to men that isn't granted to women. Go.
Education.
What about education?
In other parts of the world, women
Okay,
are
no, I'm
allowed
talking
education.
specifically United States.
Why are you talking specifically United States?
Because
Feminism
that's where these laws are. The laws
I'm
that we
talking
can
worldwide.
control. Sure,
That's a
in
very
Korea.
egocentric view
Cass,
of yours,
okay, but
Ryan.
that's different.
No, it's
You're
not.
comparing.
I'm talking.
You're comparing the U.S., one of the greatest countries in the world, comparing it to like North Korea. Of course, women are suppressed in North Korea. I think that's disgusting. I think that's horrible.
And that's why we need feminism, right? Feminism
Yes.
isn't just about us in America.
Yes.
It's about everyone around the world.
But
I don't
I'm
understand
talking
why that's
rights.
so hard to wrap
I'm
your
talking-
mind around.
it's not. I'm talking rights in the U.S., the place that we
I'm
live
talking
in.
worldwide, Ryan.
I'm talking in the U.S.
We're very privileged here in the U.S.,
We are.
but there's a lot of women who are not privileged, who don't
We
live
could
in
talk
the
for
US.
days about the rights that are granted to men.
So that's
that
why
aren't
we need
granted to
feminism,
women.
because there's women around the world who don't have the rights that we do.
We could talk for days about the rights that are granted to men that aren't granted to women, about
Mhm.
countries.
So
Apart
there's my
from the
answer.
US.
That's why we need feminism.
However, take all countries out. I know other countries exist.
Why would you do that?
Hold on. Not including any other country but the U.S.
Why would you
Hold
do that?
on.
I'm just asking
Just-
why you would do that.
Can I just ask? In the U.S.
No, because why would you do that? Why would you ask that?
I'm just asking. In
Well,
the
the
country
U.S.
that
isn't the only country in the world, Ryan.
I know, but it's probably
Finish that sentence.
the only country where we have freedom of speech.
It's not the
There you
only
go.
country with freedom of speech.
Yes, it is.
No, it's really not.
Name another country that has freedom of speech.
The European countries, they have freedom of speech.
No, they don't. You try to rally in Finland, you get suppressed by the police. Canada, same scenario.
Canada?
Yes. Canada does not have free speech. But going back to the U.S. argument, just in the U.S., is there any right that is granted to men that aren't granted to women?
I'm talking around the world.
Yes,
Ryan.
but can we just talk about the I get in the world.
There's free speech in Europe.
Sure, you can find a country in Europe that has free speech.
Okay,
But the
so we're not the
majority-
only country in
But
the
the
world.
majority of Europe doesn't have free speech.
I have to go back and look it up.
Countries with free speech. And I could be wrong. I want to accept that. Freedom of speech by country. Complete freedom of speech. Complete.
Are you on Wikipedia?
No, but I can be on Wikipedia. Right now I'm on Wikipedia. There's censorship in technology right now. Find a map. Find a map. Ooh, is there a map? Yo, there's a map. That's press freedom though. I'm talking freedom of speech. These are surveys though. I'm talking just like speaking about the laws, not survey. Do you think you have freedom of speech? That's different. Anyways, anyways, I think we're gonna.
Yeah, it'll take us a while.
Yeah, it will. We should. We can talk about that in a different episode. Come on, want to do that? Freedom of
No,
speech.
it seems boring.
Okay. But I understand there is very unequal rights in other countries. I can fully accept that. But I'm talking about the U.S.
Okay, if you
Not
want
because
examples,
not because other countries are irrelevant. They're very relevant. They're so relevant. I just want to take it country by country. So in the U.S., the country that we live in, the country that we will live on for the most of our lives, is there a right that is granted to men that isn't granted to women?
well, there are inequalities between men and women. Like
No,
I
but
said,
rights.
wage gap.
I'm talking rights.
I
See,
don't know,
feminism
Ryan.
fights for equal rights.
Yes, equal treatment, equal rights, equality
But
in all
rights.
aspects.
Just talking about rights right now.
I'm talking in all aspects.
I get that, but I'm talking about rights that are granted to men that aren't granted to women. Back to my
I
original
don't
question.
know, Ryan.
Okay, well, the simple answer to that is there isn't. There isn't a right that is granted to men that isn't granted to women. That would be so unconstitutional. It used to be voting, but we eventually got voting through.
Because of feminists.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You good?
No, I'm mad.
Why?
Why do we keep on talking about things that make me mad, Ryan?
I don't know. I think it's because you just get mad too easily, bro.
I do not.
You do.
No, I don't. No, I'm keeping it very much in check right now.
Mm-mm. You
Yes.
just said you're mad.
Yeah, but
just said
can't,
you're
you
mad.
can't tell that I'm mad though.
I can. I
No,
know.
you can't.
I've lived with you for my entire life. I know when you're mad. Twin Talk, that's the word.
Stop.
Can we look into that? Is that a thing?
No.
Twintalk.store. Aha, it's not a thing. We could buy that.
No, we're not, Ryan.
It may not even exist. It probably does, though. So, it is in my opinion, and in the opinion of the law, U.S. law, that there aren't any rights that are granted to men that aren't granted to women. And that's just the truth.
Well, there are other parts of the world
Yeah,
where
like
that is
social-
not the case.
oh.
So that is why we need feminism to fight
Yes.
for them who can't
I
fight for
agree.
themselves.
We should fight for equal rights among all people in the entire world. But,
Which is why we need feminism.
yes. Well,
Okay, then why are we arguing?
I'm an equal rights advocate.
Then you're a feminist.
When do I identify as feminist?
Why don't you identify
I've
as
already talked
feminist?
about it, Cass. It's a very...
I just want you to fix your explanation.
It's a
because
very
stupid.
socially unaccepted term.
How is it socially unaccepted?
Well, most people believe in equal rights for men and women, like I said earlier, and most of them do not want to identify as feminists because
Because of common
the,
misconceptions
yes, but common like cliches they exist.
that are wrong.
Oh boy, we should get off this because I think we're getting a little too heated. Or at least I'm not. I'm fine. But okay. Drop the knife. We don't have to get all stabby over this.
I literally didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I let you spout your stupid opinions.
Whoa!
On a nice
Wow, I'm
calm
not calling your opinion stupid.
Because they're not.
Wow, is it because I'm a man, Cass? That's
Yes.
sexist. Oh gosh, Cass, why are you being sexist? How hypocritical of
You're
you.
just being dumb. It's not a gender
Wha-
issue. You're just
wow.
stupid.
In America, there's equal rights.
But in other parts of the world, there are not.
But I am correct in saying that in America,
There are still aspects where women are not treated equally, and that's a
but that's
problem.
different. I'm talking about rights,
Also,
and I
said
agree.
the wage crap, that's an issue that needs to be solved.
Okay, that if
Those are the reasons why I believe feminism is working, why feminism is prevalent in America, but in terms of other parts of the world, there are rights that are granted to men that aren't granted to women,
yes,
such as education.
but they don't have, for example, the Constitution that we have. They don't have amendments that
No,
grant
which
us
is
freedom
why
of
we need
speech.
to fight for them, Ryan. Which is
Well,
why feminism is a
It's up to the leaders of that country.
Ryan.
It's up to the leaders of that country. We're not going to just go around taking over the world and then changing it so that.
I never said that we were.
But that's like the only realistic way you could change the minds of the
I'm not
leaders.
advocating go around and take
But
over
how
everyone.
else? How else would you get people
Advocate
in
for
other parts?
change. I don't know, Ryan. I'm not like a
But that's what I'm saying. Like it's unrealistic to say that we're in America. We're in a country where we are very privileged in the fact that we are one of the very few countries in the entire world that has equal rights among the genders. However, We can't just sit here and say equal rights for everybody. We can say that, and I agree with that statement. Equal rights for everyone that lives. I agree with that. You can't argue there. However, we really can't do anything about that in terms of other parts of the world because they have a lot of dictatorships out there. For example, a lot of South American countries do not have equal rights among men and women. We can't really do anything about that unless we were to take over those countries and change the entire law.
Which we're not going to do.
Which we unrealistically would be impossible. Realistically speaking, would be impossible. It'd be great if we could just change it so that men and women have equal rights in other countries, because they don't, but it's probably not going to happen. Which is why I wanted to shift my conversation to the US, because that's realistically what we can change. Because we live in America, we can change our laws. We vote.
So are you saying that just because we can't do anything, we can't personally do anything about it, we shouldn't even try?
No, but what can we do?
I don't know, Guy.
We really can't do anything.
It's not really up to me.
It's up to the leaders of those countries, which our president could talk to them about, but have you seen our president? You can't really talk, but our president has the power to talk to the leaders of that country and change their mind, and he could threaten them with war, which he has. He could threaten them with nukes.
Who?
Trump.
Who did he threaten?
Korea. It's like, I have a bunch
North
of
or
nukes.
South?
North? Why would he threaten South?
I don't know.
North
It's Trump.
Korea. He threatened Kim Jong-un. Is it Un? Or Un? I say Un, because that seems more right. But he's like, I have a big giant button that can release all the nukes.
Did he really say that?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
Oh, wow.
That's so dumb.
There was like the nuclear fight. I mean, nothing happened. We're fine.
Yeah,
I think
clearly,
didn't we denuclearize Korea because of that? Or North Korea?
It's not. They still have weapons.
I know, but aren't they not allowed to experiment or something?
They still do.
Hold on. Denuclearization. North Korea. Well, we're buddy-buddy with South Korea. Because we're chill with them. There's a whole history of it, apparently. Holy crap. Does it go back to the Korean War?
I don't know.
It might go back to that. Yeah, I'm not going to go into that, if that's what it is. I think we prevented a lot of nuclearization in Korea. I don't think we got rid of them all, but I think we've gotten to the point where they're not going to nuke us, which is great. Which is just
Have we
peachy.
really gotten to that point? Do we really need
Honestly, no. A lot of the world hates us.
Yeah.
Russia especially. They've always hated us. Except for the World War One. Was it 2? No, it was 2.
Gee, but they still kind of hated us.
Well, yeah, but they also hated Germany a lot more.
So they hated us less.
Do you want to talk about something else? Do you want to change topics, perhaps?
About what?
It seems like we've stated our opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to rant about,
No.
Okay.
I'm shutting that down. You're never doing that.
What?
As long as I live.
We have to, though.
No, we don't. It does not relate to this
But
topic.
it relates to me.
Yeah, well,
It's a big deal to me, man.
No.
It's in my profession.
I'm limiting you to 5 minutes.
On this, you're granting me the right to this rant.
I'm gonna regret this.
You are. You will.
I really hate myself. But if you hold on, what time are we at? We're at.
Well, on here we're at 32 minutes. That might be at like 37 because we started early. But
this can be a short one. I don't know. Is there any other stuff we can talk about concerning International Women's Day?
what else does it stand for?
Captain Marvel came out today.
Oh, that must be why they released it today.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty neat.
I agree. I can't wait to see that.
I know someone who went to the showing.
Who? We can bleep out the name.
Yeah, of course. I can. Kyle Mosier.
How do you like it?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about it. I just know I saw it on his story. He's like, just went to the pre-showing of Captain Marvel.
There's gonna be a cameo by Stan Lee.
Yeah, this movie was made before Stan Lee died. I think the last cameo he's gonna make is in the upcoming Avengers movie, or maybe it's in Spider-Man 2. Might be in Spider-Man 2.
I can't wait for Spider-Man.
I'm actually pumped for that. When is that? May?
July.
Dude.
July. I forget. 80% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember seeing something about how the critics hated it.
Hated Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, I really hope. I think we really need more women representation in Hollywood. But I really hope they're not attacking it just because.
There isn't?
There isn't.
I think you're just talking about the Marvel universe, right?
Well, yeah. Well, overall
Okay.
in Hollywood.
Well, there is.
Overall in Hollywood, we need more women, and you cannot say otherwise.
Women in Hollywood. Should I just say women actors?
Just overall women representation on screen.
On screen?
Yeah, on screen. Small.
Well, I'm going to talk about in general. On the top 100 grossing films of 2018, women represented 4% of directors, 15% of writers, 3% of cinematographers, 18% of producers, 18% of executive producers, and 14% of editors.
Yeah, so we need more representation.
But that's just the top grossing. That's not including all movies of all time.
That's still a problem, right?
And if you're talking racially, 65% of all female characters were white in the top 100 films of 2018. 21% were black, 10% were Asian, 4% were Latina, and 1% were of another race or ethnicity.
Yeah, we need more representation in that area too.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be pretty neat. I would support that. I don't see reason. I mean, granted, that's taking into account the top grossing films. There could have been other films where they were, produced by women or women acted in them and they just flopped. Not because there were women in them. It could have just been, it wasn't good. I mean, take for example Ghostbusters.
The
remake.
I liked that movie.
That was a flop.
I liked it.
Flop. I watched both Ghostbusters. I actually watched the remake first, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to see what all this hoot and hollering is about. I'm going to go see the original. And I saw the original, and it was better, I'd say. Not because dudes were in it. It had nothing to do with it.
I literally did not say that.
I know, I'm just trying to not piss off our audience out there, Sorry, bad words. Can't say that. But yeah, I thought it was better.
I just can't believe that Captain Marvel 2019 is the first women-led superhero film.
Well, there aren't a lot of women superheroes in Marvel.
And that needs to be changed.
Well,
there
Stanley's
are
dead.
in the comics, but not in the cinematic universe.
Like what?
In the comics?
But like big button superheroes.
Yeah, there needs to be
Iron
more.
Man, huge superhero. Thor, big
I
one.
love
Captain America, big one. There's a lot of smaller women superheroes,
I
and it
know.
would be nice to see a lot of spin-offs on them. But we're talking like big, giant, known superheroes. To be fair, Iron Man, I don't think was well known before they made the movie yet. Right? Was Iron Man like known before he was in the movie? Was Iron Man huge in the comics?
I mean, not in like.
I don't really know much about comics. I don't want to talk about it if I don't know much.
Yeah, I don't know much about them either.
Someone knows
it's
about
very
comics.
niche,
Come on the show. We'd love to have you.
audience, but
Yeah, but then he blew up.
yeah, because of the movie.
Well, also because Robert Downey Jr. was just the best.
Yeah, that's true.
I love that man. Sorry, no homo there. I mean, not that that's bad. I'm just saying that's not like I'm not attracted to him. I mean, if I were a woman, I'd probably be attracted to him. I should probably stop talking.
Shut up! There's so many things wrong with what you just said.
I think Robert Downey Jr. looks attractive.
Oh, right.
I'm not attracted to him, but he looks attractive.
This is.
I wouldn't date him. I wouldn't go and say, hey, Robert Downey Jr., want to go on a date? I mean, maybe if it put me in a stable financial situation, maybe I would. But no, that's weird. I don't want to go myself. Not that being homosexual is bad, like you said. Oh, wait, no. Being homosexual is not bad. I support it completely.
You just need to
I should
quit
stop
while you're
talking.
ahead.
I was never. Oh, shoot, I just stopped. No.
Let's just say
Well,
Robert Downey Jr. is amazing, and let's
Wait,
leave it
shh.
at that. the things that come out of your mouth sometimes. I just don't.
Let's just pretend it never happened.
I'm Team Cap. Just put that out there. Team Captain America.
Oh.
Versus-
I thought you were still on about Captain Marvel.
Oh, I could go on, but like I just want to clarify that I'm Team Captain America.
If I had to choose between Captain America and Iron Man, I'd probably choose Iron Man. Although I could go either way, really. I just like his movies more.
I like Cap.
Who acted for Captain America?
Chris Evans. He's from Massachusetts.
Yeah, I know. He went to BC. Nope.
I don't know where he went.
I feel like I saw that somewhere and I just forgot about it. Yo, the title for this podcast would be nice. Superheroes and feminists.
I think there need to be more women superheroes on the big screen.
Well, that'd be nice. I don't think there's a dire need.
I think there is.
Cool.
Representation is always
We already have
important.
Scarlet Witch. We have Black Widow.
Okay, let's name all the major Marvel women superheroes versus the major men superheroes, and let's see if there's.
Well,
a
also-
need.
Well, no, there is.
Let me just say.
I agree.
Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Don't hate us for not knowing some of these, by the way.
Gamora.
True.
I mean, those are like the ones that are known.
Daredevil. Is that a guy?
No, he's a guy. That's
Okay.
Matt Murdock. I mean, so 4 we can name off the top of our head. I know there's like more, but they're smaller characters. Meanwhile, let's go to the main ones, main men ones. Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, Doctor Strange. Help me out here. Vision, does he count? Let's say he counts. Falcon.
Yes, he's a man.
Iron Machine. Iron. War Machine.
War Machine.
There's more, right?
Yes. Did you
Does
say
Nick
Spider-Man?
Fury count?
Did you say Spider-Man?
Spider-Man. Can't believe I forgot Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man.
You said Wolverine before Spider-Man, Cass.
I didn't say Wolverine, but sure. Wolverine.
By the way, to settle this debate, here's how the ladder goes, right? You've Tobey Maguire. Like,
no.
I can't even demonstrate how low he is.
Oh yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
I could put my hand down and it would keep on going for about 40 minutes. That's how low
I
he
don't
is.
hate Tobey Maguire. I just
He was a
don't
really
think,
bad actor, in my
I don't
opinion.
think he's the best.
You have
Spider-Man.
Andrew Garfield. Much higher. Like, significantly. Like, he's above sea level. Much better. And then you have about 50 feet above him. Not much higher.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland.
Best Spider-Man ever.
Best one so
You can
far.
Fight me on that.
So far. I think there were some aspects that Andrew Garfield captured more in Spider-Man than Tom Holland did.
No, I don't think Andrew Garfield was a good Peter Parker.
But do you think you can't say Tobey Maguire is better than him though?
Oh no, I think
Okay.
Tom Holland's better than him.
Jeez, if you were gonna say that, we'd have some.
Well, at least
There's gonna be a Guardians of the Galaxy 3?
what? 2020? But getting back to my main
Yeah,
point,
sorry.
we could name 10 versus the 3 or 4 women.
Well, there's probably more. And I'm
That's
just
an
blanking on
issue.
them.
That's an issue, right? Yeah, there's gonna be a volume 3 in 2020.
The Wasp.
The Wasp. Ant-Man, then we can go 11-5 or 11-4. So yeah, there needs to be more women representation and more diverse women representation. Oh my gosh, I forgot about Black Panther. Black Panther and what are their names?
The
His-
tech girl.
Shuri? No, Shuri.
Couldn't talk that story. Yeah.
Okoye.
It'd be cool to have more women representation. I
Yeah,
agree.
there needs to be more.
But let's not go all like there has to be.
there has to be. There has to be.
I think that'd be nice, but it's not like there are bigger issues in this world than
Yes,
women
but still
representation.
representation is key.
Yes, but there are a lot of other women films that are not superheroes. I think if you compare superheroes, yeah, because the comics were produced in a time when the male superheroes were all the rage. Spider-Man, Batman, big comics. Like
There
the
have been so many
competing
Batman.
comics.
Okay, let's go to DC. How many DC
Catwoman,
heroes?
arguably.
Don't even get me started on Catwoman.
What's wrong with Catwoman?
She's not a good superhero.
What?
She's not, except for Anne Hathaway.
What the heck?
Michelle Pfeiffer and Halle
Where
Berry.
did that come from?
We
need women in films! Anne Hathaway sucks!
I love Anne Hathaway. I never said that.
No, sorry, Catwoman sucks! I hate Catwoman!
Well,
we need more women in
shut up.
films, but Catwoman doesn't
I know,
count!
I know,
She's
but
bad!
No, let me finish.
That's such a
I don't-
pivot. Where did that come
Catwoman,
from?
she was just like femme fatale, like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna seduce you, and that's my superpower.
That's how her character is.
I know, but I think that's terrible. That's teaching a
But that's
wrong
her-
message to girls. Like, oh, the only superhero you can
It's
be.
fiction!
I still think it's
It's fiction!
Okay, I like Catwoman, but I think she could use some work. It's only Catwoman until, like, recently, Catwoman and Poison Ivy.
Fiction
And Wonder Woman. I love Wonder
She's
Woman.
flirtatious, and that's not what we should be teaching women. It's also fiction.
Well, it's just mainly the main representation.
Forget
of
that. Spider-Man can climb on walls. That's fiction.
Where did that come from?
We
I
shouldn't be
know.
teaching men to jump off skyscrapers and that they can live. It's fiction. It's fiction. It doesn't mean anything.
I know, but still, there's. I think
Holy crap.
the way that men and women are portrayed in comics are very different. And they're very stereotypical. Like,
Oh.
men are like, oh my gosh, so strong. And women are like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're stereotypes. They're very drawn-out stereotypes.
Yes, I know.
Men are like Captain America, prime example, wicked strong dude. It's also fiction. Catwoman, flirtatious, seductive.
But
That's
those-
also fiction.
But those stereotypes
They mean
are
nothing.
reflected in real life.
Sure, they're stereotypes, but they've existed
That's
for
my
the
argument.
longest time.
I don't think that's right.
They've existed for the longest time in history.
And I don't think that's right. Don't you?
No. I don't think it's good to have stereotypes.
Yeah. So that's the point I was trying to make.
But stereotypes make for some pretty good movies, am I right? I'm talking about the Marvel ones. The DC ones are horrible.
No, I liked the Christian Bale Batmans, even though
Christian Bale's the best Batman.
yeah, but he's like a terrible human being, isn't he?
Oh, is he?
Isn't he? Did I hear stories about
Wait, you can't ruin Christian Bale like this to me. No. Christian Bale, please don't be a bad guy.
I just
Please don't
there
be
were
a
like
bad guy.
videos of him like screaming at people, right?
Oh gosh. I look up Christian Bale, just in general, and the one headline I get says Christian Bale on Vice.
Oh yeah.
Thank you to Satan. But what does it say? Thank you to Satan for something?
for inspiration.
I haven't seen any of his
That's a
movies
joke.
besides the Batman. Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Alright, as long as it's a joke, we're fine. And I think, here, can we talk about comedy a little bit? Because I think people get a little too serious about comedy. When I think comedians can say some pretty, I just want to make sure we're still recording here. Probably have that open.
Oh,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
still good. No, we're still good. I think we're
So
good.
good.
No! You did not stop.
Ryan.
Wait, it's been going. Oh, it only stopped for like the last like 3 seconds, 3 minutes. It's only been off for like 3 minutes. Sorry. My phone stopped for some reason. What happened?
Your phone is so unreliable.
I don't know why it stopped. It's probably because of the storage thing. I want to keep an eye on that. Remind me every now and then to check the phone, make sure it's still recording.
'Cause my phone's doing
This is why we need camera people
Why do we need camera people? They're
to
fine.
do all the hard work for us. Shout out to Ryan Antonelli who's doing all this editing. We love you. He's probably not listening to this.
No, probably not.
But do you want to talk about comedy a little bit? Because
What about it?
well, there have been some comedians that have just been doing stand-up comedy, you know, as on the regular,
Mhm.
and they say they make a really controversial joke, and then they have to go out and apologize for it.
If it's insulting, and
But
if it
my
makes that much
my
controversy, then
opinion on it
obviously-
is
they
it's a
need-
joke.
I know, but
It's a
still.
joke. If you can't get over the fact that it's a joke, comedians typically make jokes on stereotypes, really really drawn out jokes on stereotypes. You have to understand that in order to not get pissed off about it.
I still think there's a line that you shouldn't cross when making those
I
types
think
of
comedians,
jokes.
as long as they're under the guise of it being a joke, like if they're doing a stand-up segment and they make a joke about what's a really controversial topic, black women.
What?
Like if I were to make a joke about a black woman, people get pissed off.
Yeah.
But like if I were to make a
Rightly
joke
so.
about a black or a white man, people wouldn't care.
Yeah.
That's my point. I think if
I don't think you're a good comedian if you have to rely on racist and
Oh.
sexist stereotypes. So if you're getting called into controversy, there's a reason.
I don't think it should matter. I don't think it should matter on what stereotypes you're making a joke off of, as
I
long
don't
as
think you
people
should make
understand that
jokes
it's a
off
joke.
of stereotypes.
As long as people understand it's a joke, you're fine.
Well, often it's done mean-spiritedly. Is it still on?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna
I
lean
don't
back
trust
around
your
it.
phone anymore.
Dude, I don't trust it either. Honestly, we might have to turn it around and flip it forward
Yeah.
if it just keeps on happening. Sorry for those out there. We're still newbies in terms of videography, as you would say, as the professionals out there. But yeah, bottom line for me, and I don't think we're gonna get too heated about this. I really won't get heated about anything. I know you will though. But I think if you're a comedian, you really shouldn't have to worry about apologizing for jokes that you make, because
Unless they're
the people that truly understand comedy and comedians will understand that it's a joke, and at the end of the day, it means nothing.
I still don't think people should make jokes about topics like that are.
But why?
Because you just don't do that.
People do it all the time.
I still think you shouldn't.
And it's
my
funny.
opinion. It's not funny. I don't find it funny.
Well, it's a joke.
Just because you think it's a joke doesn't mean
Comedy
it's funny.
comedy is subjective. It's like music. We can talk about that too. Oh wait, are we getting some lag here? Are you okay?
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're good. Same thing. Music, subjective.
I never said that it wasn't.
But that's what I'm saying. Comedy's the same way. Some people find
I'm
things
just
funny,
stating my
and some
opinion
people
that
don't.
I don't think you should make jokes.
I think you're fine.
about
If you're a
things
comedian
that
and you're making
you
jokes,
know will
you should be
offend
fine.
people.
You should be justified in your jokes.
Well, I disagree, but there's that.
Yeah, but we're going to disagree on pretty much everything because we're opposites. Throwback to when we tried to record an episode on how we were opposites,
Yeah,
and then
flopped.
you were like, "Nah, we're not opposites."
Well,
You just sat there and said, "Nah, we're not opposites," and I was like, "Well, what about this?" "No, we're not opposites."
yeah, I think there is a lag.
What about no?
I know. I think
No!
right. Can you hear that?
What? Hear what?
It echoes.
Oh, hold on. We're gonna be right back. All right, we're back. We're good. We're good. We're so good right now. Not sure why I said it like that. What were we talking about? We're in a good conversation. We're on a roll. Oh, comedy being subjective, and then music being
Why
subjective.
is music?
Well, no, it was just something. You know how you have like shower thoughts. You have the shower thoughts, right?
No.
You don't have shower thoughts? Wait, hold on. What do you do in the shower, Cass?
I shower, right?
But you don't think?
Yeah, but I don't have these. What are you? What? What?
Do you not think when you're in the shower?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Those are shower thoughts. But I was thinking about music, and I was like, music is... No, I like some music. But then other people don't like that music. But it doesn't matter, because it's subjective. See, here's the thing. I think we all hear the music. I think we all hear the music the exact same. And people are like, but how... It's like the same thing with colors. How do I know that your red is the same as my red? And to that I say, well... I think we see the same colors, but we just find what's appealing different. Like our brains see it the same way, but then we perceive it as different emotion. So like I could see red and be like, yeah, red's awesome. You'd be like, no, that's gross. We see the same color, but we have different opinions on it based on how our brains work. That's the same with music. Like I hear the same songs that you hear, so we're hearing it on the same level, but we just have different opinions on it based on how our brains perceive it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the same thing with comedy. Comedy, we hear the same joke, but we have different opinions on it because our sense of comedy is different. That's what I'm trying to get at. It's like my friend Liam. Shout out to Liam if you're listening. He listens to K-pop. Like, he is an avid K-pop listener, which is fine. I mean, I judge him, as one would. Like, dude, K-pop? Okay, man. But hey, Liam, do your thing. Subjective. If you like K-pop, if you bop to K-pop, you go, man.
Why did you think that was a
I don't know. I just went off, man. What? Wait. What? No.
Why did you think
We were
that?
talking about subjectivity, and then that came
We were talking about feminism.
up. Sorry, I went off there. Well, we were talking about comedy. Wait,
Well, originally we talked about superheroes.
but then wow. So we talked about feminism, and then we were like, oh, Captain Marvel, and oh, feminism and superheroes, and then we went off about comedy.
Well, you went off. I didn't want to have that
Fine.
conversation.
Well, do you want to tie it back to something that you want to talk about?
No, I think we're good.
Why did you stop?
Jeez,
I don't
Ryan.
understand this, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's stopping. Is it? It might be. It might be
Is it playing? Is it actually playing?
Yeah, it's recording. It just stopped again. I think I'm maxed out on storage, bro.
Okay.
This is what
so
happens
we
when
have
you
to stop. Okay,
Well,
bye
no,
everyone.
whoa! Hold the phone.
Yeah, we're at.
We're at
time.
52 minutes.
Okay, bye everyone. It's been great. See you later. Hope you learned something.
Oh, you don't want to tie it up?
Peace
You can't
out.
just drop the out. You just
Yes, we can.
can't just jump off a cliff like that, bro.
Yeah, we can.
No, you can't.
We can.
You gotta tie it up. You gotta put a little ribbon on it. Let's put a
All
little
right,
ribbon on it.
feminism is something that we still need to
Look.
be discussed in all areas and aspects of our life. Is that tied up enough for you?
Because that
Should I,
ties up.
should I have a concluding statement? Do I need to have like a little paragraph?
You need your little three-pronged closing statement.
What was it?
The chicken foot.
Stupid chicken.
Say no to the chicken foot. Shout out to you if you know that. If you get that. Shout out to you, Miss Place. What was it saying? Oh, that ties up your argument. My argument is feminism in definition is great. I think men and women should have equal rights around the world. I think in the U.S. we have equal rights. Whether or not we're socially accepted as the same or different is irrelevant to the fact that we have equal rights. And in that case, feminism's purpose is fulfilled in the U.S. But in other countries, such as Korea, South Africa, Africa, I meant South America, but also Africa. Some countries in Africa are very polarized in equal rights, meaning that men often have a lot of rights that women don't, and that's not arguable. That's a fact. Just as in America, can we agree on this? Men and women have equal rights. Can we agree on that?
But they're not treated equally.
But that's regardless.
That's still an aspect of
No,
feminism.
but rights.
That's still an aspect
But
of
rights.
feminism, which is why we need
My question
feminism.
wasn't about
I
feminism.
answered your question.
My
and
question-
I'm now giving my opinion.
But my question wasn't. Can I finish? My question wasn't about are they treated equally. I'm not. Or sorry, socially accepted. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking rights. The thing that the government can do. The thing that they have control over.
They
Do they
have
have
equal
equal
rights, but they're not
Good.
treated
That's all.
equally. That's
But
why we need feminism.
That's social construct. That's different.
I
That's
know, and
nothing
that's
that the
why we need
government can
feminism.
control.
I never said that the government could control it.
But then again, it's not.
All right, let's just end it here.
I think it's up to. I don't want to say it's up to the government because the government shouldn't be having a say in social construct. That'd be weird. That would be very suppressive in ways. But the wage gap exists, statistically speaking. However, it really depends on how you look at it. Because men
How
and
does
women,
it depend on how you look at
men
it?
and
It's been
women-
proven.
men and women don't make the same amount of money.
Yep.
That doesn't take into account
All right,
that
I think
women.
we wrapped it up entirely. Let's go.
It doesn't take into account
Bye,
that
everyone.
women
Thank you
make
for listening to our podcast / watching our podcast.
that women aren't
It's been a
populous
great
in
time.
higher
This is our
paying
cue
jobs
to leave.
because statistically speaking, they're not. That's not saying you as women can't have a really
Wait,
high
hold on.
paying job.
What did you just say? I was completely ignoring you.
Wow. Hey, Cass. Love
No,
you
you're
too.
welcome.
I was just saying, statistically speaking, women often go into lower paying jobs. Hence the wage gap. I mean, that's just logic.
But
Men-
in other careers, men and women are equally represented. Men are paid more.
It's very rare to find a career when men
I
and
literally
women
just
are-
had a list of careers that I read off to you. Do you need me to read them off again? Because I will.
No. But it's very hard to find.
It's clearly not.
It's very hard to find a career where men and women are equally represented. Where a man is working directly alongside a woman in the same factory, in the same location.
That's literally
the
what I
same
just brought
job.
up, Ryan. Were you not listening?
But that doesn't. It wasn't saying a woman in Massachusetts. A woman in Plymouth, for example, is working in a factory. and in the same exact factory, in the same exact location, so there is no location bias.
This is where it ends. I mean, like I said in the beginning, we just wrap up what we said throughout the episode. It's literally 90 seconds. The entirety of the episode was an hour and 7 minutes, and you just watched an hour and 5 minutes, not including my intro. So it's just recapping very briefly what happened, our points that we made, and I mean, yeah. So that's it. Next week it won't be this garbage. This is definitely a one time thing. This is definitely only going to happen once. I'm going to be very cautious in what I delete and what I manipulate on my computer. Next week hopefully we have an interesting special. I don't know if it's actually happening, but if it is, it's going to be really cool. It's going to be really unique. It's going to be a first for our channel. So we're really excited for that. And yeah, that's it. I don't know what else to say. I've had something planned out that I was gonna say, and then I completely forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, that's it. I can't remember it off the top of my head. Yeah, sorry this episode stunk. It was pretty garbage. I understand. Not what we said, not what we did, but what you're watching, what you're viewing, what we produced. It was really unfortunate, and I completely take the fault. I'm completely at fault. I completely take the blame for that. And so, yeah, next week, season 2, episode 4, should be interesting. Should be a fun time. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you're watching this on YouTube, consider subscribing. If you like this content, if you like what we're doing, we certainly do. Hopefully you do too. If you're listening to this on podcast platforms, just follow us. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not going to force you to follow us. Share it with a friend. This was an interesting episode because we both think that equal rights is necessary, but she thinks it's more drastic than I do. I'm not going to give any opinions because she's not here to give any opinions, so I'll just leave it at this. See you next week.